So I've got one more slightly interesting one that I found, because you mentioned cabbage. So I'm just going to go on about.
Coming at me with the cabbage.
I love a bit of cabbage.
I know.
And what's interesting is they also do this one for a bitter taste receptor, and it's basically how your propensity to be able to tolerate like cabbage, bitter tastes like cabbage, broccoli, and
Marmite.
The coriander thing. You know how
some people it tastes like soap.
Exactly. Well, that is a genetic thing. So I actually interested, and even coffee, very, very bitter taste. And I love all of those things. And when I said, well, I've got this high propensity to not like it, but I do love them. And she said, that's because you've trained yourself to do it, because it's important in your diet. But it does explain, like, if you've got kids who are just like, oh my God, I absolutely can't stand that, there could be a genetic reason for that. So it's probably maybe give them a little bit of slack. Worth listening on that one, isn't it? So,
did you find it reassuring and interesting? And
I did.
Would you recommend it?
I did, and I would. I think if you are very interested in health and nutrition, I think it's great. As with all things, it boils down to starting out with a healthy diet, exercise, sleep, and everything in moderation. That's just kind of, the bottom line health information. So I think almost like if you get those sorted, maybe focus on those, and then you can layer this on top. And actually, my test I didn't mention also tested for propensities, things like stress, your sleep issues. And do you remember what I was telling you about the stress thing? Because it explains a lot, doesn't it? So I have one of my genes. It means that I've got propensity to hold on to stress and anxiety longer than it's a bit like your metabolism. I'm moved on. I don't sulk, move on. Yeah. Whereas it sits with me.
Sits with you like an old blanket over you all day.
And now I know why. But that helps me mentally think, okay, I know this is why I'm feeling like this. What can I do about it? And just getting your mental health, your stress relievers in place, and being more aware
I
of
think
those.
it's definitely worth doing it, especially the metals and minerals one, which was fascinating. We haven't got time to go into it, but it was fascinating on absorption of magnesium and all the things that we really need later in life. But what I would say is it taught me, don't fritter your money away on a one-size-fits-all vitamin. There's just no way that's going to be helpful unless you've got a very unhealthy lifestyle and you're just cramming, topping up. Really think about the vitamins that you take and don't spend all that money on them. And I think it's a really good thing to do, as you say, if your lifestyle's in the right place. And I will be really interested to see what comes up next, because the speed of the science around nutrigenomics, because it's being studied all over the world and the database is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it might be worth waiting a year or so and you might be able to get really specific results.